the lights are so blinding. I can't see anything. So, I'm gonna be continuing on with the theme of tonight, which is I Am. So, the title of my message is I Am Called for This. But before I begin, I'm gonna give a short introduction. So, my full name is Chloe Deborah Requejo. I'm a 16-year-old full-blood Filipino girl, and I go to Hillsong Technology High School. So before I begin, I'm going to tell you all a short story, which is particularly the reason why I'm here today. So when I was young, my family and I used to attend a small local Filipino church just down at St. Mary's. And we used to go there every week, like an ordinary church service, Sunday morning from 10 to 1 p.m. I think. But one night in particular, it was a weeknight, the pastor of the church brought in a man who was gifted in prophesying over people's lives. So as the service began, he called each individual one by one to walk to the front. And he'll lay his hands on their shoulders and start prophesying over their lives. So one by one, each individual came until he called the kids to come up. But I did not go up. I did not want to walk to the front. I did not want a random stranger, a random man, laying his hands on my shoulders and start prophesying over my life. Because I was little, I didn't know what that meant. But little did I know, the words that he told me changed my life. Come on. So before I knew it, everyone in that church got prophesied over, except for me. But he called up once more, saying, if you have not been prophesied over, please come to the front. So my mom, the woman that she is, nudged me and told me to go to the front. So, like the obedient child I am, I went to the front. And he laid his hands on my shoulders and told me this. This girl is going to become a great leader in the future. Someone who will lead this nation. This girl will become the Prime Minister of Australia. Yes, as overwhelming as that seems, that's actually what he said. I don't know if I believe it till now, but the words that he told me, you're gonna be a great leader in the future. You're gonna lead this nation. That's what he told me. That's what I believe. That's what I believe till this day. There were times that I didn't really believe what he was saying. And there were times that I doubted myself, saying, is this really what I should do? Is this really what God called me to do? Is this really what I should do in my future? But deep down inside of me, I had this strong, overwhelming conviction that that was what you're going to do in the future. How powerful is repetition as well? If someone tells you the same thing over and over and over and over again, then for sure, if that's probably your calling. If people keep telling you the same thing over and over again, that is what you're called to do. Yeah. What are you repeatedly getting told? Are you repeatedly getting told you're gonna preach to nations in the future? You're gonna worship lead. You're gonna create songs that people will hear over and over and over again. You might even, build buildings in the future. I don't even know. Whatever it is, that is your calling, and you will not forget that. Anyway, I'm going to be going off quickly from the book of Jonah in the Bible. It's not a very long story, so some of you may not have heard of it before. It's only 4 chapters, so that's probably why. Anyway, I'm going to summarize it really quickly. So the Lord called Jonah and told him to go to the city of Nineveh and preach to the people and tell them to stop sinning, because if they didn't, God would destroy the city. But Jonah ran away and went the opposite direction to where Nineveh was, since he didn't want to warn them, because the people of Nineveh were his enemies. So he went on a ship, and the Lord sent a storm towards him. Some things happened, and the Lord sends a huge whale to swallow Jonah up. Jonah was in that whale for 3 days and 3 nights. Now, I'm a chemistry student, and I think for sure you would have gone and digested by then. Like, you're in the stomach of a huge whale for 3 days and 3 nights, and nothing happened to Jonah, literally. But what he did do was, when he was in that whale for 3 days and 3 nights, he prayed to the Lord and he praised his name. The Lord saw that Jonah's heart had changed, so he sent the whale to vomit him up onto dry land. And God called Jonah once more, saying to go to Nineveh and preach to the people, so that they will know that the wicked ways will send them into destruction. This time, Jonah obeyed and did as he was told. The people of Nineveh repented and asked for forgiveness, and the Lord took mercy on them. Jonah had saved the people of Nineveh. So what the story serves to talk about or say is, Jonah threw away his selfish pride and helped the people of Nineveh because the Lord had called him to do it. Whenever God places a calling on your life, He will do whatever it takes to make you fulfill that calling. No matter what the devil, whatever he's doing, God will make a way for you to fulfill your calling no matter what. Also note that God repeated his calling twice. He called Jonah 2 times. If it only took Jonah 2 times to achieve his calling, what more can he do, can God do? If he's been calling you more than that. If he's been calling you 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 10 times, what more could he do? If you've been hearing, I'll say this again, if you've been hearing the same thing over and over and over again, then my friend, that is what your calling is, and nothing can stop you from fulfilling that. Okay, so another thing about me. So in school, fortunately, my favorite subject is actually English. Yes, I know, that's surprising. Yes. Yeah, I know, I'm a nerd, so what? Proud. So in one of my exams, I think 2 years ago or last year, probably 2 years ago, we had to look at this poem that was titled "The Road Not Taken" or "The Road Less Traveled." Yes, you know it? I won't read the whole poem, but I'll definitely read the last stanza. But if you get the chance to, please read it because it's actually really inspiring. So it goes like this. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Some are ages and ages hence. 2 roads diverged in wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. I think you know where I'm getting at with this. I think it's time that everyone here, we all took the road that we have never went through before. I think it's time that we step out from our comfort zones, because that will make a difference. If we won't step out and take a leap of faith, then we can't change anything in our lives. Better yet, if we can't change anything in our lives, what makes you think you can change someone else's? Thank you. A wise person once told all of us, change can't happen in the comfort zone. Change happens when we are uncomfortable. If you're not willing to take that step, if you're not willing to take that leap of faith, then who do you think will do it? What if no one doesn't do it? Then wouldn't that be your fault on your part? So the time is now to take the road that may seem scary, uncomfortable, daunting, and even intimidating. Because I believe that blessings will flow from and to us when we do that. If we are called to do something, we have to do things that are unordinary and different to what we are used to. Just imagine if every single person here who came today did that, took that leap of faith, who stepped out of their comfort zones. Just imagine the type of revival this youth ministry would have. Just imagine the type of revival this church would have. Just imagine the type of revival, say, this nation would have. Just Imagine if we all did that. Okay, so I'll quickly wrap everything I've said with 3 points and 3 verses that everyone is called to do. So number 1, I am called to lead others. Matthew 5 verse 16, hopefully they have it up. Yes, thank you guys. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Be the light in your school. Be the light in your family, in your youth, wherever. Because you're the one who's going to guide people through this dark, dark world that we're living in. You could, like what someone told me, and what we've heard over and over, you could be the only Bible someone reads. You are the lighthouse that will guide ships through the storm and that will show them the way. You are the singular candle flickering in the darkness that will give hope to people in the dark. You could be someone's superhero that continues to speak life into their lives, soul, and hearts. Because it's all about that one person. Just that one person. Okay, number 2. I am called to love others. John 13 verse 34. A new command I give you, love one another as I have loved you, so you must love one another. The greatest thing, the most important thing that everyone desires, that everyone wants, that everyone needs is love. So a better way than for us as a community, as a church, as a youth, as a group of people, than to show that love to others. Number 3, and my last and final point. I am called to be like Jesus. 1 Peter 2:21. To this you were called, because Christ suffered for you, leaving you an example that you should follow in his steps. Jesus is that one person that everyone here is trying to imitate. If what you think, what you're supposed to do, does not align to what the truth says, to what the gospel says, to what his will is, to what he wants for you, then that, I'm sorry, is not your true calling. To connect that with my other points, just as how Jesus loved you, yes, you, sitting there, listening to my message, no matter what you've done, he loves you with all his heart. We, as a youth ministry, as a group of people, should love others and everyone, even if they turn a blind eye on us, because they're still gonna see that. I am called for this. So does age limit your ability to pursue your calling? Well, I'll bring it over to Amos, who will explain that more further. Well, that's all from me, guys.